Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Dr. Cordovino? Mr. Daughtry?
Here.
Mrs. Fano?
Here.
Mr. Grau?
Here.
Mr. Palma?
Here.
Mr. Petrosino?
Here.
Mr. Rappaport?
Here.
Ms. Zuckerman?
Here.
Dr. Woodruff?
Here.
Ms. Fiella? Mr. Sun?
Okay, pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public meeting notice.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of any and all meetings at which their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, Montville Township Board of Education provided public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location, that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Buildings, District website, advertised in the Daily Record, the Board's official newspaper, on January 22nd, 2023.
Mr. Sun, good to see you tonight. Do you have a report for us?
So I'm going to start off with some things that happened in the past. So first of all, we talked about sorry. So first of all was the senior banquet that we had on September 27th, and it was a cruise on the Hudson River. So the event was a huge success. There was a lot of attendance, and students enjoyed great dining, dancing all night, and took lots of pictures for great memories. So other things that we had going on in the school, and around mid-September, the Chinese Honor Society held an activity in celebration of the Mid-Autumn Festival, which was on September 29th. And this activity included learning about the traditions of the festival and making entries to win prizes. So after providing the students with some videos for reference, the Chinese Honor Society received a lot of creative and aesthetically pleasing lanterns that won some prizes. So some of the high school's biggest clubs, including FBLA, Key Club, and DECA, have also started to begin holding their first meetings and attracting general membership. And there's also been a lot of new clubs at the high school this year that have had really successful starts, including Rise Club, Chess Club, Mental Health Initiative, and Montville Financial Investment Group, among a few of them. We also, unfortunately, had to cancel the fall pep rally we had scheduled due to inclement weather. And we also had the picture day for 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students and faculty, which was on October 5th and 6th. And the retakes for those pictures are going to be on Monday, November 13th. So now moving on to some more recent things that are happening right now. Very recently, we just received information about many National Merit Commended students at the high school. And the following students at the high school have been recognized as commended students for the 2024 National Merit Scholarship Program. And their names are Armand Agarwal, Havish Boda, Nicholas Green, Michael Lyer, Shashank Hara, Paul Phillip, and Ion Budin. These students will be receiving a letter of recommendation from the school and from the National Merit Scholarship Corporation, and they're among 34,000 other commended students throughout the nation. Also, tomorrow in the high school, we're going to be having PSAT testing for sophomores and juniors and some freshmen if they want to sign up as well. So going on this week as well, we have the Red Ribbon Week. And then we also have homecoming coming up this Thursday, October 19th. Currently, the SAC has sold 225 tickets, and we have projections to sell more tickets in the next 2 days upcoming to the homecoming. The theme is going to be casino night, and there will be card tables around for students to play with. The tables are going to be poker, roulette, and blackjack, so that should be a lot of fun. Moving on to some sports updates, we have boys soccer. Their record is currently 6-11, and they had a rough start to the season, but they won their last 4 games, which is good news. And on Friday, October 13th, they played Nutley Home, and Dino Trientac Philidis scored the game-winning goal in the last minute to secure the victory. So we have girls soccer as well as at 3 and 11. And in their recent game against Kinnelon, the girls scored 2 goals, and their goalie, Hannah DeAngelis, had a shutout. And their senior night is tomorrow against Morris Hills at 4 p.m. Girls volleyball's record is currently 6 and 11. They play Hope John tomorrow for their annual Big Pink game at 4 p.m. It was recently posted on the New Jersey Power Rankings that little Cassandra Chahan is ranked the 3rd player in the state currently, as well as the #1 junior in the state. So also setter Lana Eunice was announced to be 5th in the state and the 2nd junior in the state. The girls tennis team is also doing well. Their record is 9 and 8, and they recently lost to Old Tappan in the NJSIAA semifinal round of the state sectionals. The football team is 5 and 3 with a recent forfeit from Warren Hills last Friday. They're going to be playing Child this Friday at 7 p.m. for Montville's homecoming game, and the homecoming court will also be honored during the halftime. So this is going to be the football team's last game before they go into states. Field hockey is currently 4-9 with 1 draw, and they had a bake sale recently to support breast cancer awareness at the game against Randolph, and their senior night is going to be October 25th. And then finally, cross country, they just recently competed at the NJAC Championships on October 10th. Alex Kellogg led the boys, placing 3rd overall, breaking his own school record, running 16 minutes and 2 seconds. And Lawrence Soinline led the girls, taking 11th with 20 minutes and 25 seconds. So we're just going to finish off here with some things going on in the future. We have the college fair coming up for October 23rd. We have over 60 colleges that are going to be attending, and it's going to be a great opportunity for the seniors and juniors at the high school to look around and find some colleges and connect with colleges that they're interested in. The Cultural Diversity Club is also holding an international dessert contest on October 26th. So participants can bake their favorite homemade desserts, and prizes will be awarded to the top 3 desserts. And then finally, on October 25th, there will be a Squire Night presented by the school counselors that will be open to all parents and students. So that's some of the updates from the high school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in to let us know about all that stuff. I look forward to the game. I hope it doesn't rain this Friday.
Yeah.
I know. Anyways. Thank you.
And you're right, basketball games are really.
Yeah, oh, by the way, yeah, that's right. Now, football games, yeah. By the way, just remember, all the games except football are free to the public, so please come out and support the teams.
Great. Thank you. And thank you, Ryan, for that. It shows you how much is going on in the schools, and that's just at the high school level. We've had a great start to the school year, and we're halfway through the first quarter already, which is amazing. So we're off to a great start. On the website, we have a lot of frequently asked questions regarding the referendum. This helps the public better understand what's being asked of them when they have to vote on December 12th. Tonight, we have our architects here who will be presenting the proposal, just showing us what's going to be going on with the different schools and the whole scope of the referendum. We also have on our website the video regarding the referendum, informing parents and the public about, a little more in depth about what's going on with the referendum. We also have a link on the Montville Township Town Council website to the referendum, so if people need information, they can jump on many of these different places to get some more. If you need to, you can also email me, or there's a referendum email, referendum@montville.net, and that will come to us as well. Recently, Ms. Slunt, Ms. Marinello, and I have gone to the Republican Club, the Kiwanis Club, and the Chamber of Commerce to speak about the referendum. We also hosted a table on Montville Day. Upcoming, we'll be speaking at the Democrat Club and the Senior House. And then later in November, we'll be having a virtual forum for everybody in the town. I shared with the board this evening about a student mobility report. This tracks students that are from 8th grade going to 9th grade, and those students that have decided to go to other high schools. This past year, 27 students have decided to attend other high schools, which percentage-wise is the lowest in 6 years when we started really tracking this data. This is only about 10% of the class that decided to move on, which is the lowest percentage in 6 years, and we're on a 5-year downward trend. What's more interesting, though, is when you look at the data, you look at the number of kids that have returned as sophomores, juniors, and seniors, you see a lot of them come back, and recently we've seen 12 students return to come back to Montville Township High School after they've left us. So we welcome them with open arms. Tonight, there's just a report out on the QSAC. QSAC is our quality assurance report from the county. This is a process that we have to undergo, all schools have to undergo every 3 years. We did very well, and it's been the district, the county officials have been referring to us as a model to exemplify that are out there. People have been calling us and saying, what are you guys doing? So we've been sharing information with them. But this QSAC is the New Jersey Quality Single Accountability Continuum, and it's a review that we have to go through with the county. It looks at everything from facilities to our curriculum to everything that we're doing, and the district scores very well every single time, but most recently in the 5 areas. So again, we want to thank all the administrators, Ms. Slun, Ms. Woodring, Mr. Casey Shorter. That's how we used to call him, Casey all the time. Thank you, and all the other administrators that helped us with this whole report, so thank you. And last, we have the HIV self-assessment that we've done. Again, we scored very high on this. This is something we get to report out to the state. And just like the QSAC report, it shows that this is a model district and we're doing extremely well. HIV, which is harassment, intimidation, and bullying, is something that we take very seriously. And we report our information out to the community every year, and also have to report this out to the state. So we're very pleased with those results. So that's very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's always amazing how well we do on the QSAC. It is a testament to the administration and the team that works. Excellent.
I'd like to turn the meeting over to our architects, Brett Sumgen, who are being represented by Will Ross and Keith Stoll, who will be doing a presentation on the referendum regarding the changes that are being proposed to the buildings.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. I am Will Ross, and this is Keith.
Closer.
Closer? Is that better? All right. Will Ross from Brett Sumgen, and this is Keith Soltis. Here to give an overview of the referendum process. So the agenda, briefly, is to go over the 3 scopes of work: the elementary school additions and renovations, which is comprised of all question number 1 projects, and then the district-wide HVAC and district-wide security vestibules, which is question number 2. So the elementary school additions, over the years, the district has repurposed spaces throughout the elementary schools to meet their needs. Classrooms are divided by a tabletop partition to enable 2, 3, or 4 lessons to be taught simultaneously. You see in the image on the right, that is a single classroom that has some movable chalkboard and whiteboards separating the 2 classrooms. And then on the left, there is a music lesson happening in the corridor of one of the buildings. The bottom proposal seeks funding to renovate certain classrooms that are now divided by temporary partitions into permanent classrooms. The first ballot question proposes new construction of 23 classrooms, totaling across all 5 elementary schools, and also proposes dividing 14 classrooms to make 28 rooms that are the correct size for small group construction. So we talk about some of the existing classrooms. This would be the proposed future classrooms, adequately sized with new furniture finishes to facilitate the correct learning environment. To get into the specific buildings, starting with Cedar Hill, we have in the orange color, that's a 4 classroom addition. And the blue color is a renovation of 4 existing rooms to create 8 new classrooms. And from a very early on schematic design, looking from the parking lot, the existing bus drop-off circle, you see the existing building, and then on the far right, the addition of the 4 classrooms. And you can see in the corner, the security vestibule is currently in construction and slated to be finished later this year. Moving on to Hilldale. The scope of work at Hilldale is a new multi-purpose room for flexible larger instructional areas, 3 new classrooms in the orange, renovation of 2 existing rooms to create 4 small group instruction rooms, and inside that new addition would be a new security vestibule. Looking from the parking lot, this is a preliminary early on rendering of what the school may look like from the parking lot. Again, once the referendum passes, we're going to meet with all the stakeholders, go over these designs, and move these on. This is just a kind of preliminary massing of what the front will look like. Valley View is the addition of 5 classrooms and renovation of 2 rooms to create 4 new classrooms. The addition here is located off of the side and back of the gym and the cafeteria. I did not generate a rendering for this because it won't necessarily be seen from the main entrance, but it will match the architecture and the style of the existing building. Woodmont. Again, there's a new multi-purpose room for flexible large construction areas, 4 classrooms, renovation of 4 existing rooms to create a new 8 new classrooms. And this addition goes in the front parking lot, so that parking lot will get renovated and improved as well. So looking from the street, a small massing model showing 4 classrooms in a multi-purpose room in front with a new green grass area and modified drive aisle there. Lastly, for the additions, we have the William Mason School. This again has a new multi-purpose room, 7 additional classrooms, renovation of 3 existing rooms to create 6 classrooms, and parking lot improvements. So looking from the existing parking lot, you can see that this is the newer addition as it stands now. So we'd be adding on 7 classrooms and a multi-purpose room to the end of that and modifying the time. HVAC upgrades to the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems at every building except the Montville Township High School and Valley View Elementary School, where work has already been completed in the last few years, is included in the referendum. The bond proposal targets buildings where heating systems are old to the point of repair, risk, and energy efficiency. Improved systems would be more efficient and do a better job with air exchanges, the function of bringing fresh air into the room. So this is existing units from throughout the school, and this is proposed new high-efficiency units that are more aesthetically pleasing and up to the current energy and HVAC codes. HVAC upgrades are included in all the buildings except High School and Valley View, like I said. So Lazar, Cedar Hill, Hilldale, Woodmont, and William Mason will be receiving upgrades. Regarding security vestibules, the second ballot question also proposes construction or modification at 5 schools to establish more secure 2-stage entry vestibules. Visitors will be able to request permission to enter the school only after someone inside is verified the person is any and purpose from being on site. So first one is at the high school, constructing a new multi-checkpoint entrance off of the front under the existing canopy. Hilldale School, as showed in the addition. Valley View would be an interior renovation, and then Woodmont would be a new addition similar to what we're constructing at Cedar Hill, which would also match William Mason. So the 3 schools would be similar in style, and welcome new school branding. And that's kind of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Does the board have any questions?
Hi, Will. I have a question for the high school. Are there 2 security vestibules or just 1? Because the kids enter through where the main office is, but they also enter where the gym is sometimes.
The scope of work right now is for 1 security vestibule at the main entrance, or the main office.
The way that the flow of students are into the building is during the time just before school begins, the door that's near the gymnasium and the walk of fame is open. However, once the bell rings for school to begin, that exit and entrance is then locked. You can't actually get in and out of there. You can get out, you can't get in. And all other traffic has to go, as is currently now, to the front of the building.
So when I used to drop my son off, I would drive in the back, and drop them off. So there's not going to be security.
No, and that's only during the morning, during drop-off. So during drop-off, there are multiple entrances into the building, but once the bell rings, all of those entrances are closed, and the only way to get in currently, even today, is to go through the main doors up at the office.
Understood. Thank you.
And currently also, when kids are dropped off, all those other entrances are supervised, and we have staff there as well.
Hi, I have a question about Woodmont. With all the other all-purpose rooms, they're all closer to the parking lot or closer to the street. But in Woodmont, you have the all-purpose room sort of tucked in the back without any direct access. So if vendors need to drop equipment off, there's no easy way to access it. I was wondering why the all-purpose room will be sort of tucked in the back and the classrooms in the front versus the classrooms in the back where they could have more greenery, they could have trees and things like that. And the all-purpose room in the front, when you don't care about the windows, also easier access for vendors. And I know you showed some green space in the front there, but that needs to become parking lot or parking spaces. It's better if it's closer to the all-purpose room than to classrooms.
Can I mention something real quick? Sorry, to cut you off there. Woodmont does have an access road that goes down the side of the building. There's no problem getting vehicles and vendors down that way to the all-purpose room. That road actually goes all the way back down behind the building on that side. It's not a road that goes anywhere. It's not used for really anything except it's maintenance vehicles. You have your electrical panels back there. I know, I walk there a lot with my dog. And yeah, so there's not an issue about access to that side of the building.
Thank you, Dr. Motor. Exactly what I was about to say is that mechanical or service access road. And these are preliminary designs, so we can still kind of flip-flop and move things around within reason.
Sorry.
No,
Didn't mean to-
I appreciate it.
Are there any other questions about any of the?
I have a question.
Just one moment. I'll give you in just a moment, we're going to have a public participation section. And you'll be able to ask anything you want on the agenda, and that will be a great time to ask that question. So I'll remember you. Okay, any other questions? Christine,
I have one more I was thinking of. So these roofs are flat roofs. Are they going to be solar panel ready, just in case in the future the Board of Education decides to put solar panels on, or we get a grant?
The structure will be adequately designed for the potential of the future. It's not included in this, but it'll have a potential for that to be added.
Okay.
I asked that very same question.
Yeah. No, it's important because when you build it, you could do electric. I mean, I'm just wondering if there's a way to get a price to see. It's probably cheaper to do something now versus later on in the years when you're building, but it's just a thought.
Also, you have to take into account where the roofs are located, they have sun, trees. I know that's a problem with Hilldale.
Right, Hilldale.
I've had many conversations about Hilldale does not have a roof structure to support solar panels, but Woodmont does.
Probably the most cost-effective way to go about it would be to do it the same way we did the ones that are on the roof now, which is through another ESIP. So we would follow behind the referendum, just like we did this exact same thing. We did the referendum in 17, and then in 18 we followed it by an ESIP. And what that allows us for is it allows us to have everything installed and us paying it back over a long period of time. So as we begin to move through, we would then evaluate that in a similar fashion. We finish the building, then we start looking at ESIP opportunities because it's the most cost-effective way to do it.
Any other questions from the board? No? Okay then, we will move on. There's a good news section in the agenda. I encourage you to read it. We'll do committee liaison reports, and then we'll get to public participation. So, first, Karen, Facilities and Finance.
Thank you, David. Facilities and Finance Committee met right before this meeting. There were discussions that took place regarding the referendum, co-curricular guides, transportation in terms of a van that was just purchased, potential for MedLec to provide different types of recreational services. A survey went out to parents regarding that, and then we discussed the financial status of the district as we close the 22-23 year, and then look forward to the 2023-2024 year.
I would just tack on to that Dr. Foreman did get a lot of responses to the survey, and they were very positive. Do you want to say anything about that?
Exactly what you just said. So we had close to 700 respondents from levels K through 12. We were very happy with that. The input was very valuable. We'll be going through all that and trying to offer some things in the spring and as well as the summer, and then keep on building upon that in the future.
Okay, curriculum, Michelle.
The meeting scheduled for December 5th before the board meeting?
Policy, Joe.
Policy Committee met on October 9th, just to review 6 updated policies and regulations, as well as abolishing 6 additional policies at the moment.
And those are on the agenda. Communication, Michael.
No report.
Okay, safety, Mike Rappaport.
No report.
Okay, Karen, delegate liaison, New Jersey School Boards.
So I was tardy to tonight's public meeting because I had the distinct honor and pleasure as president of New Jersey School Board Association to present to a school board member right here in Morris County the School Board Member of the Year Award. This is an award that's given to a school board member every year. They can come from any one of our counties, and this year the school board member is from the Netcon district, and now I can reveal her name, Bernadette Belisandro. She's definitely a deserving recipient of this award. She's a 28-year member of her school board. She is a retired Marine. She has a can-do attitude, a wonderful spirit, and we've been friends for the past 17 years, and she certainly deserves the honor. In other news regarding New Jersey school boards, workshop is coming up. Workshop will start on this coming Monday. As of September 22nd, there are 500 districts that have registered and 4,788 registered individuals. The workshop will feature more than 200 training sessions, as well as an expansive exhibit floor, student performances, and special events. The full agenda can be found on the NJSBA workshop website, and there's also a mobile app. All 4 courses of mandated training will take place, governance 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there will also be a school law forum, which is held at each workshop. In terms of finances, for the 23-24 fiscal year, 91% of districts have paid their annual dues, and this is on track with previous years. The auditors have completed their field work, and we await their final results, although informally, it seems to be a clean audit. There is an online networking feature, online discussion called NJSBA Connection, and I would encourage you to take a look. It's a way for school board members to connect online in a safe setting. And can ask questions and elicit answers from your school board colleagues. In terms of workshop, continuing with workshop, I would like for those school board members here at the dais, if anyone is attending workshop, please be sure to attend our own Sue Marinello's programs. Sue was invited to participate in workshop, to do presentations. One is in conjunction with NJSBA and Montville Township Schools. It's called Using Strategic Planning to Build Stakeholder Engagement. This will be presented on October 24th at 10 o'clock in room 304. The second is called Branding, Building Powerful Relationships Through Brand Identity. This one is specifically extracted, developed because of Montville Township, and it'll be presented on October 25th at 10 a.m. in room 421. So if you get to stand, Sue is standing right in the back of the room. So thank you for being invited to do these presentations. What else? Let's see. I had the opportunity, we were invited, the county leadership members and the officers were invited to participate in a Zoom call with the anti-bullying task force, the Department of Education's anti-bullying task force. And they basically posed to us 5 questions, which they wanted feedback on. So one of the questions was barriers preventing reporting of HIP incidents, and naturally the school board members were able to contribute to that discussion. For example, one school board member suggested that there should be a district specialist paid for by the state. There was also a discussion about differentiated HIP, so we would have different standards and disciplines for elementary school children versus high school students. Discussion on culture and climate committees, anti-bullying curriculum, the impact of overall the law, impact on coaches. It was a very enlightening meeting and discussion, and I'm going to share some information with the superintendent regarding that. And before I sign off, I just want to, since I have a microphone, I just want to congratulate our school district. Montville underwent their QSAC, and maybe Dr. Gorman mentioned it earlier, but let me congratulate the school district for once again being designated as a high-performing district. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Are you sure? Okay, thank you very much, Mary. Michelle, Morris County School Board.
Yes, I attended the Morris County School Board Association hybrid meeting on October 5th. I attended virtually. It was held at Mountain Lakes High School, and Mountain Lakes Chamber Ensemble and Chamber Orchestra performed. They were excellent. The main program was called Trauma-Informed School Communities, and talking about mental health awareness, resources, school-based services, crisis planning. Really was very informative. I encourage my colleagues. The PowerPoint from the presentation has been sent along with the minutes and so forth in the meeting, and it really is something that's worth taking a look at. The next meeting is Thursday, December 7th, at also a hybrid meeting at Morris Mills High School in Rockland. And I guess just a quick, we are very fortunate to have Karen B., the president of the New Jersey School Boards Association, and in the midst of everything just had going on this week, just congratulations to her on becoming a grandma again for the second time this week. So, just a little shout.
Okay. Moving on then. Joe, Morris County Educational Services.
Yes, we met last Wednesday, and we also will be presenting at the school board conference next week. We are doing a topic on how shared services benefits the
And Drug Awareness Council.
They also met on the 9th, and discussion was about the upcoming parenting program that will be held on Tuesday, November 28th. We had a successful parenting program back in the spring, so we're repeating it with some new speakers. So I invite, I hope that everybody will come out and see
Charlie?
Yes, the Mustangs will be having their first meeting of the year tomorrow night. Unfortunately, I was told by my wife that they had other plans, and actually she calls the shots. So if anybody could control the meeting 7 o'clock at the high school, I would suggest you Tom Wall, and he can give you the details of the night.
Okay, thank you. Karen, back to you. Cedar Hill Liaison.
No report.
Okay, Charlie, back to you.
No,
Hill. Joe, Valley View.
We met on September 20th. It was our first EPA meeting, and we had good attendance, close to 30+ parents there, and discussed our goals and issues for the school year.
Okay. John, William Mason.
Also met on September 20th, first meeting of the year, developing finances, financing, financially healthy, over upcoming events such as the book fair, which was a success last week. Other than that,
Okay. Mike Palmer, Woodlawn.
Yeah, we met last Tuesday virtually, as we've done since COVID. It's actually worked very well. Gets a lot of people coming to the meeting who might not normally be able to get there because of babysitting problems or whatever. It was a fairly short meeting. We discussed things such as the Michelle Sullivan game coming up, fundraising, we had an update on enrollment, and we did briefly discuss the referendum.
Christine, you want to talk about Lazar?
Yes, so Dave and I went to Lazar's meeting last night. That was their first PTC meeting of the year. This month they're very busy. They're doing a living lessons walkathon at the school to raise money. On Wednesdays they have a school spirit day, so they either wear Lazar wear or green Montville wear. They're going through a lifeline suicide training. They're doing a fall play, and it will be at the high school November 2nd and 3rd. And the production is Hard to Spell Dad. It's about someone with dyslexia, and it's they call it junior, so it's not for younger kids. And the 8th graders will see it for free during the day. You can buy the tickets online, or you can buy a ticket at the door and pay in cash. Each week they have some type of school program, and one week is about school violence they'll be talking about. They have a new fitness weight room. It will include adaptive classes. It's a unit for gym class. This is new for them this year. And the PTC funded a lot of the equipment. It's beautiful. We took a walk. They can fit 40 plus students. They could do meditation, yoga. They have free weights there. The floor is done beautifully, like a gym floor. So music too. So the kids are going to have a great time. And they're starting a new fitness club, which will start in January. On November 6th and 7th, they will have parent-teacher conferences. February, the high schoolers, the kids going into high school will be doing the scheduling, and then the end of the second marking period, the rest of the students. Testing will be April 29th through May 7th. They're asking parents not to schedule medical appointments during that week, because if the kids miss a portion of the day or miss that particular testing day, they have to start again. The student council, they have 2 new advisors. They have 148 students, the most ever, and so they're very excited about that. They're very happy about the Chartwell's food service canteen. I just wanted to mention that. They had a wonderful breakfast in September for the teachers, and they want to thank all the parents for all their donations. They're selling winter hats. They sold about 143, so if anyone would like to participate and buy and support the kids, that would be great. They're having a book fair the week of December 4th, and they bought all of the staff, including Officer John, Yeti water bottles, which they were very grateful about, and I wanted to tell you, Dr. Gorman, that they said such wonderful things about Officer John during their meeting, so I wanted to share that with you.
He's excellent. I'm glad that I have him on the list.
That is the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mike report.
No report, but next meeting's in January.
January, wow. Okay. Now we move on to public participation. Come on up. If you would like to come on up to the microphone, Andrew will put the microphone back. Please state your name, address, and let us know what's on your mind.
Hans Peterson, 3 Cheyenne Drive, the house right behind the playground. So the construction at William Mason is going to go into the existing parking lot. So the existing parking lot, my understanding, is going to be relocated. Can be, know where the parking lot is going to be relocated to. And then there's also in the Q&A, it talks about the playground is going to be moved. Where is the playground being moved to, and what's going into that spot? My concern
I know.
is
It's right next to your
the
property.
parking lot with the lights sitting behind my house,
Yes.
as opposed to a dark playground.
I understand that. Right now, the playground is going to be, I can speak to the playground. The playground is going to be moved up onto, there's a blacktop that's closer to the building, and it's going to be moved up there because it's more convenient for the kids, but where the basketball courts currently are. Exactly. So we definitely know that that is going to occur. Where the actual changes related to the parking lot are going to be are not fully realized yet, simply because we need to actually begin to do core sampling and figure out where the building shifts a little bit depending on what's going on with rock. And as you know, that area is very rocky. So I can't speak completely to where the parking lot's going to go, but certainly 2 of the locations that it's looking at would be where the existing playground is or the empty field that's across. And it's going to, what's going to be the determining factor is how much we're losing of the existing parking lot. And again, that's going to be based off of when we do the core samplings to see where we can put footings.
One other question that's just kind of logical is all the buildings are being going out. Was any thought given to going up?
Yes, we looked into going up. Well, I don't know if you want to speak more knowledgeably on it.
So months ago, we did look at feasibility studies of all the additions, and one of the options was going up. And from a price and cost budgeting standpoint, it is more costly to go up. None of the existing structures were ever designed to support a second story. So it would involve either partially demolishing an existing structure or building out of that, similar to what they did with some of the gyms, and kind of telescope up over it, and do more economically from a feasibility study, the additions like this make more sense.
Yeah, maybe when we actually get the plans, if we get the plans to do this, some consideration could be made for the impact that might have on the residents. You know, maybe situating lighting so that it shines away from the lights, shines away from the houses. So I know a number of parking lots are going to be affected here.
Yes, and lighting technologies have come a long way of recent years, where lights are more downlights now, they don't project across, so there's no light pollution, and there should be no glow into the neighbor's property, or no illumination of their property, which is all aimed to counter more power.
Great. Okay, thank you. Great. Before you start, we're working, taking questions on the agenda only right now. So if you have a question on the agenda, there will be another public participation section at the end. And so any questions that are not on about the agenda specifically, we can ask them at the end. So.
Hi, thank you. It should be quick. My name is Gary Lewis. I live at 5 Crooks Farm Road here in Montville. Both our kids are very successful byproducts in Montville board, so for that we'll be eternally grateful to all of you. A very simple question, and I'm looking forward to seeing the virtual form. So if you can tell me to wait, then I'm okay. It looks like it reads that question 2 is hostage to question 1. I know that's a bad word. You know what I mean? But my question is, I'm a big security guy. I ran the construction office in Summit for years. And in fact, I reviewed a number of Montville's school projects before Montville became Class 1. Is there a particular rationale why we couldn't proceed with the security vestibule and the HVAC if Montville's electorate somehow decided that the expansion referendum maybe was not appropriate, maybe not appropriate, too large, whatever? Is there any reason why one has to be absolutely contingent upon the other? It would appear to me that bidding-wise, it would just be whatever the alterations might be to the bid documents. That's my only question. And I'm here for information. I'm not here to say one's good or one's bad. I don't want you to, please don't read that anywhere whatsoever.
Just traditionally, this town, when we've gone out in the past for referendums, it was 1 or 2 questions tied together, and they were contingent, one of those contingent upon the other one. The biggest issue that we have is the spacing issue, and that needs to be addressed. It's the capacity issue is the main thrust. We can maybe address the security and the HVAC systems over a number of years that we had to if the referendum went down. And that was just the way we packaged the system. But the bidding process that they both passed, it all goes together, and it would offset the cost. It's one or the other. I'm not sure exactly what the bidding part you were talking about, but it's just the way we packaged it, and we need number 1 to pass because it is the most pressing issue.
Good evening, Jim Whitty, 11 Longview Drive. Is it good? Okay. I just have a question also about the security vegetables. I'm wondering how EMS, I know police probably will be able to get in, but what about EMS? Or what if, me being the school nurse there a couple times, I had to leave the building to go out on the field. How's that going to work?
In terms of the way the security vestibules are utilized, from the point of view of a school nurse, for example, trying to get on and off on the field in order to help a student in need, they would have no difference to what we're doing now. All of the Montville Township employees have access cards that can get them in and out of the building at multiple points, and the nurse would choose the closest location to where the child is in order to get there fastest and could come back into the building the same way. So from that perspective, that wouldn't change from what we're currently doing.
What about EMS?
So from the perspective of EMS, in the event of an emergency, they would have, part of our protocol is that we have our staff members at the various locations, again, in order to enable them to access and enter the building to care for the person in need. So the vestibules are not going to negatively impact children or adults that are in need in or out of the building.
And our police have access to all our buildings as well. And they'd be escorting EMS people.
Are there any other questions on the agenda?
Yes. Victor Evgeny, 18 Bella Place, Montville. One question through the chair. The March 14, 2023 meeting, President Petrosino asked about the cost. Of course, post-COVID now, talking about inflation, raw materials, and of course with 2 salient wars going on, one in Europe and one in the Middle East, there's no question raw materials are going to be much more costly because it's most certain oil is going to go up. And then this past August, Congress passed a law a little while back with the Davis-Bacon Act with prevailing wages, which I believe this board has to adhere to based on my knowledge and experience. So through the chair, if I may, and I know this was addressed to Dr. Gordon and the VA and Mr. Dean, would you be able to elaborate on what in your pro forma you project because of inflation, prevailing wages under the Davis-Bacon, trying to get raw materials, post-COVID, what's going to add, what that cost is going to add to this project if there weren't under those circumstances that we're now dealing with? Have you did that in the report? Thank you.
All of our construction budgets and estimates were put together earlier this year, prior to being submitted down to the state for review and approval. And were based on recent projects that we've opened in the county and recent projects of similar scope that we've completed. All of the projects did include contingencies, one for unknown as required by the Department of Education, and we also did include an escalation fee or an escalation contingency, knowing that the market is as volatile as it is today.
I may ask again through the chair, what was the increase?
I don't have that off the top of my head. I'll have to.
When you receive me, present a report like this, and you don't have those facts with you?
So, I mean, he's answering your questions, so. And just in general, we have to go to the taxpayers for, the full amount. If we found that the cost overruns were a little bit higher than projected, we have to stay within that budgeted amount. So we would have to find a way to cut back on our costs if we found ourselves in that predicament.
Last question, you said you submitted to the state,
Yes, it was before August.
Yeah, back in March.
So I'm assuming it was before the increase in the data state.
As Mr. Ross has indicated, they have put through increases and escalation amounts as part of the costing out of the program. No one is able to look through a crystal ball and know what's going to happen into the future. Those projections have been very conservative in terms of projecting as far out as they could, being realistic that the numbers are not too high. And as Dr. Gorman indicated, if it were to occur that because of events that occurred after March or into the future were to negatively impact the costs of actually building the spaces, we would have to then make cost savings adjustments in order to accommodate those unforeseen events.
And if I may through the chair, since I've been responded to, I understand all that. But I think from my position as one taxpayer, who's been much more informed through due diligence, the non-trustees who know that figure before they make the decision. Now, since it's been done, it's going on the referendum, that opportunity is no longer there. Regardless of what you're saying.
So, just so I'm understanding your question, you would like to know what the escalation value was on the costs? Is that what you're asking?
What I'm asking for, the total project came out to $70 million. The cost of that $70 million, how much of it was the contingency cost, the engineer referring to that?
Certainly, we could provide you with that information. What Mr. Ross is saying is he doesn't have it with him now.
So then I would ask again for the chair, based on what's been discussed. Do any of the trustees for the chair, did you know that figure before you made the decision? When you presented that figure, the contingency?
We've all looked at all the data and we made a decision and moved forward. Well, that's the answer I'm giving you right now, but.
Not the correct answer.
Okay, so we will look at this contingency fee that you're looking for, and then we'll get back to
Will
you.
look like, that means you did look at it.
We'll look at we don't have it right here on our table, that's what we're saying.
Are there any other questions? I'll just respond and say that we were aware there was a figure. There was a contingency, we were all aware of that.
Yeah.
Were you given that basis?
At one point in time, we were.
I think this is enough. And normally the board wouldn't respond to that, but I appreciate that, thank you. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Okay, seeing no more questions, I'll close public participation. Ask for a motion on consent resolution I through N.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Section I, minutes. Any questions? Section J, its donation, etc. Section K, facilities and finance. Section L, personnel.
Yes, just, we have a retirement, I just want to acknowledge Tam Bogard, who's retiring after 19 years of service. She's been a dedicated biology teacher, active in professional organizations, and known for innovative teaching methods. Ms. Baumgart has enriched her students and learning experiences, and she shared these approaches with her colleagues. Her dedication in town has made her a valued member of the school community, and she has left a lasting legacy. We're going to miss her very much.
And Dr. Gorman, I would just like to echo everything that you said about Ms. Palmer. She's the kind of teacher that students remember for the rest of their lives. So it's with regret, but I wish her a very happy retirement.
And I would also echo that because my daughter had her, and yes, she's a very good teacher, so we will miss her here. Section M, curriculum. Any questions? Section N, policy. Any questions about policies? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Dr. Cordellino?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes, abstain on K1.
Ms. Fano?
Yes?
Mr. Grau?
Yes.
Mr. Petrosino?
Yes.
Ms. Zuckerman? Yes. Daniel Eyes? Dr. Modar?
Yes. Okay, there is no closed session. We move to old business on the board. Any old business on the board? Any new business? General comments from the board?
Yes, please, David. With the indulgence of the board, I'd like to make overnight. Sure. The indulgence of the board, I'd like to make a statement.
Okay.
Yesterday it came to my attention that unbeknownst to me, I somehow acquired an endorsement from a highly partisan political action group which calls itself the New Jersey Project. I immediately contacted the person who my research disclosed to be the administrator of the group and expressed my desire to be removed from the list of endorsed candidates. The last I checked, they had not been removed despite my request. I do not interact with this group, and I've never solicited an endorsement from this group, nor do I accept it. I'm publicly declining this endorsement. Yesterday, I posted a letter on my family's Facebook account stating the same thing. I've said many times that politics do not belong to the Board of Education, and I will neither seek nor accept an endorsement from any political action group on either side of the political spectrum. Second, along these lines, I recently learned through the grapevine that word is filtering through the community that I'm in favor of book banning. Let me make my position on book banning clear, and I believe this is going to be very much in line with ours in the district. Book banning has no place in our schools or in our society. The fact that a library may choose not to put certain materials on its shelves is not book banning. The school administration has a responsibility to ensure the materials distributed to the students are both informative and appropriate to include age appropriate, and that they have redeeming literary value. Having said that, students should have access to informative, age appropriate materials covering all important subjects. It is not acceptable library management to selectively purge all references to subject matters, including cultural ones, because the matters are controversial or because someone wishes to keep our students from being informed. Nor is it acceptable library management to distribute materials presenting only one side of an issue or to overtly promote propaganda materials in pursuit of achieving a uniform preferred narrative. We have a responsibility as a district to provide our students with impartial access to informative and age-appropriate materials to give them the ability to educate themselves on the issues that they're choosing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. I understand the position. I would like to just emphasize that I know because you are running for office, I did not feel that it was necessarily a campaign issue, but generally speaking, we try not to do campaign work from the dais.
position and your feelings on the subject. But I think going forward, we're just going to make sure that there are no references to campaigns. I do appreciate your position on keeping politics off, and I appreciate your position on stating your position on books and your place in the library. So thank you. Any other new business or old business?
I have a question, but I don't know if it's a question for Andrea or Tom, Dr. Gorman, excuse me. Gambling online, you know, football, it's all the commercials, and that's big now for these kids. And I'm just wondering, is that part of our health curriculum for even middle schoolers? Because it's easy now, they could do it on their cell phone, you know, betting on games, etc., casinos.
Yeah, it is part of the health curriculum at the high school. I don't know if it goes down to middle school, but it is been part of the state requirement for quite some time now. Yes.
It would be nice if teenagers under the age of 18 were not gambling. Those websites are supposed to keep them from doing so. I know that it's pretty lax sometimes, but yeah, I would hope that. I think we also have a very good curriculum starting early on in the elementary schools about internet safety, your footprint on the internet. Nothing ever goes away on the internet. It's always there. And so the kids are learning after early missteps by many other students. They are learning, I think, to watch themselves on the internet.
No, you're exactly right.
And now we open up for another public participation section. Please come to the microphone, state your name, address, give us your comments. I would ask that you try to limit it to 5 minutes or so if you can. But if anyone else has anything they want to contribute to the meeting, please come forward. No? Oh, one more. Okay.
Just a follow-up. Is the plan, the whole plan, going to be released before the referendum, including the playground and the parking lot?
The answer that she gave you earlier is the best answer we have right now until.
I know the answer right now, but before the referendum, is it going to be a complete plan released?
When you say complete plan, can you be, like, where am I going to put the playground?
Where is the playground? Where is the parking lot?
We wouldn't go and do, the plan is as we have presented it, in terms of before we do anything like core sampling, this is the best locations on the property. But yeah, but in terms of actual core samplings, that would occur after.
Okay. We know some things already, like we know where some wetlands are, where we have trouble, and we try to take that into account. But I guess until we get the money and start digging in, we're not going to, there's always issues that pop up. And if June, another question?
Two things.
Two things.
So quickly, I'd just like to say thank you for taking care of the Purple Heart with the township. It looks beautiful. And I know they'll appreciate it on November 11th. Also on October 28th, they'll be dedicating a Vietnam memorial that's going to be at the community park. It's a scout project, so if anybody's available at 11 o'clock. And then the last part, I'd be interested in seeing the these figures also, if they're going to be made public. I appreciate that too. Thank you.
You can get them on
Thanks.
on the referendum website. And also June, I would say that memorial was a very good example of how schools in town can work together to get something done and make it positive.
The entire school, really.
Yeah, I think it was a good thing for us, and thank you for bringing it to our attention. Okay, if there's no other comments, motion to adjourn? Okay, so moved. Second. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.